14. Controlled destruction specialists reveal to us that they strike the help in the storm cellar before they begin obliteration. Before the primary plane hitting the North Tower, janitors and building engineers in the storm cellar detailed impacts that harmed a few specialists and murdered somewhere in the range of a steel fire entryway was folded as though it were an aluminum can. After 30 seconds these specialists revealed hearing a noisy pound which they later learned was the plane's effect. The administration attempted to clarify these blasts were some way or another caused by flight fuel from the planes in excess of 70 stories above. The fuel had spilled out and fell by one means or another into the storm cellar beneath, and was touched off causing a blast. It doesn't mind that these blasts happen preceding the plane's effect. Do you trust the administration's clarification that a plane a few miles from effect figured out how to spill fuel into the cellar? 15. A person on call was in fear for his life when he saw the building descending. He dove underneath a fire truck. After the building crumbled, he gazed upward and saw that the fire truck which had been above him had vanished. How would you clarify the missing flame truck? 16. Indira Singh was filling in as a surgeon volunteer on 911 at a triage unit close Tower 7. Before 12 she was informed that her unit would need to move since Tower 7 would descend. Rudy Giuliani said he needed to move his war room out of WTC-7 in light of the fact that the building was descending. BBC went reporting in real time before WTC-7 crumbled and declared erroneously that it had just descended. There were a couple of flames on 3 of the 47 stories, however they were out. The BBC later said they were told this by Reuters. Reuters is a Rothschild organization and has purchased Associated Press. How would you clarify the earlier information of these individuals of WTC-7's fall? 17. The North and South Towers had 47 focal center steel segments and 236 border sections for an aggregate of 283. For the structures to fall straight down at about free fall speed, every one of the 283 associations from the segments to every one of the 110 stories must be cut inside a moment of each other. Remembering outside flames can't achieve half of the temperature required to dissolve steel, how would you clarify 2 by 110 by 283, 62,260 associations in the 2 towers all being disjoined all the while by an office fire? Isn't this a meaning of a controlled devastation? 18. A man was on stairwell B on the 4th floor of the North Tower, when the tower above him crumbled. After it crumbled, he turned upward and saw nothing above him except for blue sky. He was not squashed by 500,000 tons, 453,592,400 kilograms, of falling flotsam and jetsam. Everything above him had been vaporized or swung to clean. Do you sincerely trust stream fuel and office fires did this? 19. Why was liquid iron still at the WTC weeks after 911 when the rubble was evacuated? This has never been found in office fires. 20. Human bones were found on the top of the Deutsche Bank working over the road from the WTC. The bones were all centimeters in estimate. How would you clarify office fires slicing human issues that remains to be worked out little sizes and keeping them on the top of the close-by building? 21. On 9/11 autos a square far from the WTC detonated. How would you clarify that by office fires? 22. Thermite was designed in 1893 in Germany. It has been utilized by welders for in excess of 100 years to cut metal. Thermite has a metal oxide which builds the span of its fire by discharging oxygen. Sulfur, magnesium and aluminum can be added to build the force of the consume. Nanothermite is accessible just from above best mystery labs in the US and Israel. Its fine processing and high surface region with respect to its nanometer measure volume enables it to achieve a temperature of 5,200 degrees, 2,871.11 Celsius, and consume steel braces in a moment or two. It can be splashed onto an objective and exploded later after it dries. Nanothermite drops were found by numerous researchers and sent to various labs for testing. How would you clarify the nearness of nanothermite at the WTC? Do you genuinely trust Osama? Receptacle Laden could have purchased nanothermite from a best mystery U.S. or Israeli military site via telephone from his collapse Afghanistan utilizing his American Express card? 23. Thermate is a variety of thermite. Sulfur in thermate decreases the dissolving purpose of steel. Sulfur deposit was found on the steel at the WTC in the flotsam and jetsam heap. How would you clarify the nearness of sulfur at the WTC? 24. The FBI never recorded Osama container laden as being needed for the WTC assault since they had no proof of his blame. Have you at any point heard the controlled press say this? 25. 1 million tons, 907,184,800 kilograms, of flotsam and jets should have fallen on tanks in the most minimal level of the 5 cellar floors of WTC 1 and 2. However, those tanks were not harmed by the crumple of the towers but rather were extremely harmed by the garbage expulsion group. How would you clarify that? 26. 2 Israeli groups shot the effect of the planes on the towers. They had their cameras set up and moving before the principal plane struck the North Tower. A great many people have known about the moving Israelis. They were met on Israeli TV and a few of the 5 men confessed to being Mossad specialists. The other group was a man and a lady who sent video of the effect to the U.S. government. Susan Lindauer expounded on this in her book Extreme Prejudice. Shrubbery said on 911 that he saw the main plane effect on live TV before entering that Florida classroom. So do you think this pre-learning of 911 demonstrates Israelis' cooperation in the assault on America? It is safe to say that you will live in an once-free country that won't just permit yet effectively assist a remote power with blowing up structures with Americans inside, lie about it and burn through trillions of your expense dollars executing a large number of blameless individuals including its own troopers for lies.